Think you're all about making stuff? Nah, you're just collecting stuff. When it's quiet and no one's hyping you up, just admit it. You're not building anything that lasts. You're like a squirrel freaking out about winter, burying food in a forest that burned down ages ago. You call it being driven. You call it playing it safe or winning, but I see a screw-up, a bug in your system. All those big plans, those where I'll be in 5 years goals, they're just fancy ways of hiding that basic need to grab everything you see. It's taking, pulling things into your hole. It's not about having enough because that's not even in your brain's dictionary. It's about more, until you're burning out, begging for the next hit. Forget self-improvement or good vibes. Deep down, you're just a predator dragging a dead animal into a cave, growling at anything that moves, and you can't stop. Your greed isn't some cool, dark thing. It's just a program. Lines of code written into you when things were icy and starving. Now it's stuck on repeat, frying your brain. And until you get this, until you cut that thing out, your life is just a puppet show run by dopamine hits. You're not living. You're just reacting like a robot following old orders. Let's be real here. From where I'm standing, you're running around stressing yourself out. For what? Numbers on a screen, a fancy car, bricks you call a house. Your brain's telling you that equals survival, but that's a lie, a fake out. Back in the day, if you found berries, you took them all. If you killed an elk, you ate until you threw up since there were no fridges and tomorrow wasn't a sure thing. That meant being greedy and keeping everything just to not die. Your family survived because they worried and grabbed everything they could. They never had enough. But you're not in the ice age now. You're in a comfy box, but your amygdala, that panic button in your head, doesn't know that. It just sees what's around you and yells, "Not enough?" It sees what your neighbor has and yells, "Fight." It sees your empty bank account and yells, "You're dead." So you grab. You fill things up. But here's the messed up part. The more you get, the heavier you feel. Think money's gonna give you wings? Nope. Without some serious self-control, money's just heavy weights. I see you drowning in what you think is winning. You've built a comfy fort, but now you're trapped inside it, scared to move, scared to risk anything because you have too much to lose. A wolf doesn't worry about losing its land because it carries it with it. It's always ready. But you're stuck. You put your roots down in a pile of junk, thinking that makes you king. It just makes you a target and keeps you from moving. Let's look at your body. Let's crack open your head and see what's going on. When you get something, money, status, whatever, your brain shoots out dopamine. It's like a drug, a feel-good shot. It feels like you're getting somewhere, like you have a purpose. For a second, that worry in your stomach goes away. You feel safe, strong, but dopamine doesn't make you happy. It makes you want more. It's not the prize, just the promise of it. As soon as you grab that thing, the dopamine's gone. The good feeling disappears. And then, silence, emptiness, being alone with your thoughts and freaking out. So you reach for the next thing, the next deal, the next whatever. You're running in place, wearing yourself out, chasing a feeling. That's not being driven. It's being addicted. You're a junkie, but everyone claps for your habit. They put you on magazines and call you a leader. I see the tired in your eyes, that empty look of someone who's taken over the planet and found nothing but themselves. You tell yourself it's for family or for freedom. Lies. You're doing it because you're scared of what else there is. Scared of things not being certain. Out in the wild, things are always changing. But a real predator does well when things aren't certain. They get sharper, stronger, and feel alive because they're close to danger. But you've spent your whole life trying to kill off anything that's not a sure thing. You get insurance, save for when you're old, keep everything you can. You try to build a wall so high that nothing bad can touch you, but that's how the world works. So you're cutting yourself off from everything. You're trying to stay alive for forever while you're still breathing. Your greed is trying to control what can't be controlled. It's a sandcastle against the ocean, and keeping everything like that messes with your head. You ever notice? The more you have, the less you actually think. Why bother thinking when you can buy something? Why make something new when you can just get it? Your brain, which is built to solve tough problems, starts to get lazy. It loses its edge. I've seen poor people fight like crazy, with clear heads and one goal. I've seen rich people be slow and dumb, always looking over their shoulders, protecting what they have. They've gone from being hunters to guards, just waiting to be attacked. You think you own your car, your house, all that? Nah, they own you. Everything you have is sending signals to your brain to take care of it, protect it, worry about it. You've split yourself into a million pieces, spreading yourself thin over dead stuff. You're not whole. You're a cloud of worry attached to things. And the messed up part, the thing you won't see, the only thing that's actually yours, your time and energy, you're trading it for stuff that'll end up in the trash. You're trading your life for plastic, frying your brain for a quick high. Let's dive deeper into why you even do this. Why you fill your garage, your closet, your bank. It's because you're scared of being empty. You can't sit alone in a room with nothing to do for half an hour. Try it. You'll start itching, reaching for your phone, anything to fix, clean, or buy. Being alone is normal for a predator. A tiger doesn't need a podcast in the jungle. An eagle doesn't need a notification on a mountain. They're good on their own. part of the world around them. But you're all over the place. You use stuff, money, goals to block out the sound of your own life. If you stop getting things, the quiet comes back. And in that quiet, you might hear the truth that you're boring, weak, and have wasted years playing a rigged game. So you become stuck. That's the right word. Something that was alive, but got cut down and can't move. It just rots and grows stuff on it. When you get tied to property, when you bet your future on a place, you get stuck. You say, I'm settling down. I hear, I'm giving up. Out in the wild, not moving means death. If you stay in one place too long, you get eaten alive. And look at you. You're covered in stuff sucking you dry. Social stuff, taxes, bills, people who secretly hate you. They're taking your energy because you're standing still, guarding your stuff. You traded being free and dangerous for being comfy and rotting in place. And you call that living the dream. Let's look inside you at what's really there. Think you're enjoying your money? Your body doesn't agree. You're always stressed out. Every time you check the market, look at house prices, worry about your car. Your brain tells your body to freak out. You're always on edge. In the wild, that's good. It helps you survive, but you're always doing it. So you're hurting yourself. Your emergency isn't actually dangerous. It's just your money problems. You're aging faster than you should. That tired look isn't wisdom, it's poison. You're killing yourself to keep your ego happy. And for what? Let's play a game. Let's say it all falls apart. Imagine tomorrow. No internet, no money, no rules. Who are you then? Stand in your living room. Your house papers are useless. Your bank is gone. Your car is a metal box. Without your stuff, who are you? Someone who's strong on their own will laugh. They know how to survive and see change as a chance. But you'll see the world ending because you stop taking care of yourself. You're too used to relying on others. Without the stuff you have, you're nothing. You won't make it because you forgot how to take care of yourself. You used the easy way out. Now look at your crew. Look at the people you call your tribe. You think you're the boss, the alpha, right? Because you pick up the check? Because you drive the nicest car? Wake up. You ain't a king. You're just a feeder. This is the saddest part of your little game. You've swapped real respect for transactions. You've swapped dominance for bribery. Think about your partner. Think about your so-called friends. If the money dried up tomorrow, if you couldn't buy the drinks or the gifts, how many of them stick around? Don't answer too fast. Your ego wants to say, they love me for me. Yeah, right. Your gut knows the truth. They're mercenaries. They're hanging onto your supply line, not your soul. You've surrounded yourself with emotional prostitutes, people who tolerate you because they need your scraps, and deep down, you smell it. You know that when you walk into a room, they aren't checking you out. They're checking out your watch. They're doing the math on what they can get from you. You turned yourself into a walking ATM, a utility, and nobody loves a utility. They just use it until it breaks, then they get a new one. You feel that lonely vibe even when you're at your own party? That's why. Because there's no real connection. There's just the guy who pays and the leeches who take. Real connection needs you to be open, to be vulnerable. It's two apes standing in the rain, watching each other's backs. But you can't be vulnerable. You're too scared. You gotta keep the armor on, keep the mask tight. Because if you show a crack, the mercenaries might leave. Or worse, they might rob you. So you hide in your pile of stuff. You buy more flashy junk to scream, I matter, but nobody's listening. You're just a zookeeper getting eaten by the animals you fed too well. And then you drop the biggest excuse of all, the one you hide behind when you feel guilty. I'm doing it for my kids. I'm building a legacy. Let me tell you what you're actually building. You're building a cage for your own bloodline, and you're pumping it full of poison. By hoarding all this stuff for your kids, you're robbing them of the only thing that actually makes a human being worth anything, the struggle. Muscle only grows when it's heavy. Character only grows when it's hard. If you take away the pressure, you create slime. Look at the rich kids. Look at the dynasties. Are they warriors? Are they sharp? No, they're soft. They're neurotic. They're useless. They've never hunted a day in their lives because you drag the dead deer to their bed every morning. You think you're helping them? You're crippling them. You're cutting their legs off before the race even starts. You're teaching them that food appears by magic. You're teaching them they deserve the prize without the fight. You are genetically modifying your own family to be losers. When winter comes, and winter always comes, your kids will be the first to freeze because they don't know how to make fire. They only know how to inherit the lighter. Your legacy is a joke. You're stacking up gold to leave behind, thinking it makes you immortal. It makes you a laughingstock. History is full of empires built by hoarders. And what happens? The second generation spends it. The third generation loses it. The fourth generation starves. The universe hates order. Your pile of money is unnatural. The world wants to scatter it, and it will. Taxes, inflation, stupid kids, war. Your hoard is gonna get blown away. So why are you killing yourself now for a future that's gonna disappear then? You're like a guy starving himself to death just to leave a full fridge for a corpse. It's stupid, but hey, maybe you think you're safe because you're not buying yachts. Maybe you're smart. Let's look at your other greed. Look at your phone. Look at at your screen time. You're a glutton, man. But instead of food, you're stuffing your face with data. You're hoarding pixels. You're hoarding other people's fake lives. This is the new sickness. Your primitive brain is scared of the dark, so it thinks if it watches enough news, enough tutorials, enough content, it'll be safe. It thinks knowing stuff equals surviving, so you scroll and click. You're stuffing your brain until you puke, but you aren't digesting anything. You watch a video on how to get rich, then how to get ripped, then how to be happy. Feels good, right? Feels like work. Feels like you're learning. It's a lie. You're just masturbating your brain cells. When you watch a guy build a cabin, your brain gives you a hit like you built the cabin. But you didn't build jack. You're sitting in a chair, softer than pudding, dreaming about doing stuff. This is brain greed. You're collecting answers to questions you never asked. You're a library of books nobody reads, a warehouse of rusty tools you'll never touch. And just like a hoarder's house smells like rot, your mind smells like noise. You got no silence in your head, no room for a real thought. Every free second, the elevator, the toilet, the line at the store, you fill it with the feed. You're terrified of your own voice. Why? Because if you listened to your own thoughts for 5 minutes, you'd hear a scream. You'd hear the primal part of you banging on the bars, begging to be let out, but you drown it out with a podcast, with a meme, with a 15-second clip of a cat or a war zone. You treat the world's pain like entertainment. You treat wisdom like a snack. You're not informed. You're polluted. And all this leads to the biggest addiction, the one you fight for the hardest: comfort. Your greed for money is really just greed for soft things. You want heated seats. You want perfect AC. You want food delivered so you don't have to hunt, gather, or even cook. You want to smooth out every rough edge in your life. But listen to me. Friction is the only thing that keeps you real. Without gravity, bones turn to mush. Without stress, muscles shrink. Without friction, your soul turns to sludge. Look at your body. Is it a weapon or is it storage? Most of you are carrying your greed around your waist. You're hoarding energy, fat, for a famine that's never coming. You're hoarding safety in your joints until they rust shut. You treat pain like a mistake. You treat being uncomfortable like you failed. I worked hard so I don't have to suffer. That's the suicide note of your spirit. The primal code knows that pain is data. Pain tells you you're alive. When you're cold, you're real. When you're hungry, you're sharp. When you lift something heavy, you're here now. But you built a life where you never feel anything real. You live in a tiny box of perfect temperature, perfect food, perfect safety. You're domesticated. You know what happens to house pets when you toss them in the wild? They die fast. Not because they're weak, but because they forgot what pain is for. They stand there confused, waiting for the bowl of food while the wolf tears their throat out. You built a golden cage of comfort, locked the door, and swallowed the key. And you call this success. I call it a coffin with Wi-Fi. Who taught you this junk? Who told you hoarding is good? Who told you comfort is the goal? Who told you to watch the news? Don't be stupid. You aren't the player. You're the piece on the board. Actually, nah, you're the resource. There are farmers in this world, the people who run the system, the ads, the companies, the algorithms. They know your primal brain better than you do. They mapped out your buttons. They know exactly what color red makes you drool. They don't want your money. Money is cheap to them. They print it. They want your life. They want your attention. They want your anxiety. They want you predictable. A greedy crowd is easy to control. If I can make you want crap you don't need, I own you. I can make you work a job you hate to buy the trash I sell. I can make you scared to lose it, so you'll do what I say. I can put you on a hamster wheel of debt and wanting more, and you'll run until your heart pops, making power for my machine. You think you're a consumer? No, you're the livestock. Your greed is the fence that keeps you in the pen. Every time you buy a logo to show off, you're branding yourself like cattle. Every time you chase comfort, you're walking right into the slaughterhouse because it's warm inside. The farmer loves a greedy pig. The farmer loves a fat cow. The only thing the farmer fears is the wolf, the one who jumps the fence, the one who won't eat the slop, the one who can't be bought because he needs nothing. Are you the wolf or are you just waiting for the butcher? So here we are, end of the line. I stripped you naked, taken your money, your comfort, your excuses, your ego. I showed you the cage. Now, what do? Most of you? Nothing. You'll close this, go back to scrolling. You'll forget this in an hour. You're too far gone. But for the 1% of you, the ones who feel a cold fire starting in your chest, here's how you fix it. This is protocol 0. It starts with accepting you're already dead. The second you accept that everything you see is temporary, the second you accept you're just dust on a rock flying through space, the fear goes away. The universe is a machine designed to destroy order. Its only goal is to take things apart. By hoarding, you're fighting physics. You're trying to hold water by squeezing your hand. The harder you squeeze, the more you lose. Protocol 0 is deciding to open your hand. You can live in the big house, you can drive the car, you can use the gold, But you gotta be a ghost inside the machine. You gotta walk through your life like a tourist. Enjoy the view. Use the stuff. But don't pack the towels in your suitcase. You know checkout time is coming. This is the real hunter. The hunter respects the kill, but he doesn't worship it. He eats, gets the energy, and moves on. He's a pipe, not a bucket. Money flows through him. Resources flow through him. He sends the energy where it's needed. To build, to protect, to destroy. But he doesn't let it sit and rot inside him. Imagine this. If a fire burned your life down tonight, every dollar, every brick, every paper, would you break? Would you cry for your identity? Or would you stand in the ashes, smell the smoke and smile? Would you say, good, now I'm light again, now I can hunt? If you can't honestly say you'd smile, then you're a slave, and no amount of cash can buy your freedom. There's a cosmic joke being played on you. The joke is, the more you try to secure your future, the more you lose your present. The more you try to be someone, the more you become no one. The universe laughs at your insurance. It laughs at your bank account. It laughs at your legacy. It knows that in the end, the only thing you keep is what you became, not what you bought. So here's the final test, the only one that counts. Look at your hoard. Look at the shiny toys you sold your soul for. Can you mentally set them on fire? Can you cut the cord? If you can, you become dangerous. Because a man who's willing to lose everything can't be threatened. He can't be bribed. He can't be controlled. He is free. He plays the game, but he isn't of the game. He plays better than anyone because he doesn't care if he wins or loses. He plays for the rush. This is the primal state. The ability to hold a diamond, look at it, and drop it in the ocean without blinking. Because you know you are the diamond. You are the sharp edge. But I bet for most of you, that's too scary. You'll cling to your toys. You'll cling to your status. You'll hug that rotting stump until the end, and you'll die heavy. The cage door is open. It's always been open, but you fell in love with the bars. Stay in the cage if you want, but don't call yourself a king. Kings roam the wild. Slaves guard the warehouse. Make your choice. Winter is coming either way. We talked about hoarding money. We talked about hoarding junk, but there's a greed that's invisible, and it's the one that's actually killing you. You are hoarding tomorrows. Look at you. You live your life like you have 1,000,000 years in the bank. You say, I'll do it when I'm ready. I'll start when I have more money. I'll live when I retire. You are treating time like it's something you can stack up in a freezer and eat later. Wake up. Time isn't money. Money can be printed. Time can only be burned. Every second you sit there overthinking, hoarding your potential for the right moment, that second is gone. It's ash. You think you're being patient? No, you're being arrogant. You think the universe owes you a future. You think death is something that happens to other people. That is the ultimate greed. To think you are so special that the laws of decay don't apply to you. I see you sitting in the waiting room. You know this place. It's comfortable. It's safe. It's full of people just like you, reading magazines about success, planning big things, talking about big dreams, but nobody is moving toward the door. Why? Because the door is scary. Outside the door is the wild. Outside is risk. Outside you might fail. So you stay in the waiting room. You hoard your energy. You hoard your ideas. You say, not yet. You are saving yourself for a special occasion that will never come. You are like a grandmother's fancy china plates, locked in a cabinet, gathering dust, too precious to use until the day you die, and your grandkids sell them at a yard sale for $5. You are not living. You are preserving yourself like a pickle in a jar. And pickles don't hunt. And while you sit in that waiting room, you play another game, the nice guy game. You think being harmless makes you good. You think because you don't bite, you're a saint. Wrong. You're not peaceful. You're just harmless. There is a difference. A wolf that chooses not to bite is peaceful. A rabbit that can't bite is just lunch. Your greed for being liked is pathetic. You hoard approval. You hoard smiles. You swallow your anger. You swallow your truth just to keep the peace. You buy things to signal status because you are too terrified to signal power. You buy the big truck not because you haul lumber, but because you feel small. You buy the expensive watch not to tell time, but to tell people, please respect me. It's armor for a ghost. In the primal code, respect isn't bought. It's bled for. If you disagree, you say it. If you want something, you take it. But you manipulate. You hint. You wait for someone to give it to you. And when they don't, you get bitter. You get resentful. You hoard that resentment deep in your gut until it turns into cancer. You are terrified of your own aggression. You think anger is bad, so you suppress it. And what happens? It leaks out as greed. I can't conquer the world, so I'll buy it. I can't dominate my reality, so I'll dominate my collection of Funko Pops. It is a substitution. You are replacing dangerous, masculine, primal energy with shopping. You are castrating your own spirit and covering the wound with Gucci. And who loves this? Who loves a harmless waiting hoarder? The merchants of hope. You know them, the gurus, the influencers, the guys selling you the secret. They are the drug dealers of your greed. They tell you can have it all, manifest your destiny, passive income. They sell you the dream that you can be a killer without doing the killing. They sell you the idea that you can be a lion while eating vegan kibble, and you buy it. God, do you buy it? You hoard courses you never finish. You hoard books you never read. Why? Because the act of buying the solution feels like solving the problem. When you pay $500 for a course on how to be alpha, your brain releases dopamine. I did something. No, you didn't. You just paid a tax on your own cowardice. Hope is a dangerous thing. In the wild, hope kills. If a deer hopes the lion isn't hungry, the deer dies. The deer must be alert. It must act. But you are addicted to hope. You sit in your mess, hoarding your junk, hoping for a miracle, hoping for Bitcoin to save you, hoping for a politician to save you, hoping for a lucky break. Hope is the leash that keeps you in the waiting room. Just one more year, just one more deal. Stop hoping. Start looking at the blood on the floor. The world is a slaughterhouse for the hopeful and a playground for the active. So you want to add 15 minutes of pain? Let's get practical. I told you about Protocol Zero, but you need to earn it. You need to do the work. I want you to make a list, not a to-do list, a burn list. Write down everything you are saving for later. The nice clothes you don't wear them or burn them. The ideas you're saving for when I have time, launch them today or kill them. The money you're hoarding for safety while you live a miserable life. Spend it on a skill that makes you dangerous. You are heavy. You are carrying a backpack full of rocks called maybe someday. Drop the pack. You think you need more to be happy. I challenge you. Go into your house. Pick 10 things that you own but don't use. Throw them in the trash. Not sell, not give away. Trash. Feel the pain. Feel your brain screaming, but that's worth money. Good. Let it scream. You are teaching your brain that you are the master, not the object. Destroying value is the ultimate flex. It says, I can create this again. I am the source. If you can't destroy your stuff owns you. Let's go to the deepest level, the basement of your soul. What are you actually hoarding? You are hoarding an identity. You have a picture in your head of who you are. I'm a smart guy. I'm a collector. I'm a good parent. And you buy props to support that character. You are an actor on a stage, surrounded by cardboard props, terrified that the audience will realize you don't know your lines. You are afraid that if you strip away the house, the car, the job title, there is nobody home. That underneath the layers of consumption, you are a void. And you are right. You are a void. But you think the void is bad. You think emptiness is death. So you try to fill it. Now let's talk to the enlightened ones among you. The ones sitting there thinking, I'm not greedy. I do yoga. I meditate. I donate to charity. I am spiritual. Don't make me laugh. You are the worst kind of hoarder. You aren't hoarding gold coins. Congratulations. Instead, you are hoarding good vibes. You are hoarding karma. You are hoarding peace of mind. You treat spirituality like a marketplace. You sit in the lotus position, not to dissolve the ego, but to polish it. You say, look at me. I'm so calm. I'm so detached. That is not detachment. That is vanity wearing a different costume. You give money to the homeless guy? Why? Be honest. Did you do it for him? Or did you do it for the dopamine hit? Did you do it to buy a moment of feeling like a good person? You are using that beggar as a mirror to admire your own reflection. It is a transaction. I give you $1. You give me moral superiority. You are trying to bribe the universe. You think if you stack up enough spiritual points, death won't hurt. You think if you are good enough, life won't bite you. That is the ultimate greed, the greed for immunity. You want to buy your way out of the human experience, but the primal code doesn't care about your chakras. A tiger will eat a monk just as fast as it eats a banker. The universe is not a shopkeeper. You cannot buy its favor. Stop acting like a spiritual prostitute. True spirituality isn't about getting peace. It's about losing the need for it. It's about standing in the fire and not asking for water. Block 13, the hungry ghost, emotional vampirism. And because you are empty, because you are a hoarder, you become a vampire. Greed is not just about stuff, it's about people. Look at how you interact with others. Do you listen? I mean, really listen? No, you wait. You wait for them to stop talking so you can speak, so you can take the attention, so you can be the center. You hoard attention like it's oxygen. When you walk into a room, you suck the energy out of it. You need validation. You need praise. You need control. You treat your partner, your kids, your friends, batteries. You plug into them to charge your fragile ego. And when they are drained, you find a new battery. You call it love. I call it possession. You don't love them. You love how they make you feel. You love that they belong to you. My wife, my husband, my friend, always ownership. If they try to change, if they try to grow away from you, you panic, you get angry, you manipulate. How could you do this to me? Because it was never about them. It was always about your hoard. You lost a possession and you are throwing a tantrum. You are a hungry ghost, a creature with a giant stomach and a tiny throat, never able to eat enough to be full. And people can feel it. That's why they are tired around you. That's why they pull away. They know that if they stay too long, you will eat them alive. Block 14. The illusion of control. The fortress. Why do you do all this? The money, the spiritual ego, the vampirism? Because you are addicted to control. Greed is just a symptom. The disease is the refusal to accept chaos. You think if you build a wall high enough, the wind won't blow. You think if you buy enough insurance, the cancer won't grow. You think if you hoard enough money, the market won't crash. You are building a sandcastle at low tide, screaming at the ocean to stay back. It is pathetic and it is exhausting. You spend 100% of your energy trying to freeze time, trying to lock reality in a box so it doesn't scare you. But reality is a river. It flows. It destroys. It creates. By trying to stop the flow, you are drowning. The primal man does not try to control the river. He learns to swim. He knows that safety is a myth. He knows that the only security is his own ability to adapt. But you have forgotten how to adapt. You only know how to accumulate. You are heavy. You are static. And in a dynamic world, the static things are the first to break. Block 15. The biological finality. The grave. Let's go to the end. The real end. I want you to visualize your own funeral. See the box. It's a nice box. Expensive wood. Maybe you paid extra for the satin lining. Greedy to the last second. Wanting comfort even for your corpse. Now watch them lower it into the ground. Throw the dirt on it. Everyone leaves. The crying stops. They go eat sandwiches and talk about the weather. Now it's just you in the dark and the silence. The money in your bank account? It's still there. Numbers on a server. Does it help you now? The car in the garage? It's gathering dust. Does it help you now? The reputation? The legacy? The worms don't care. Biology is the ultimate communist. It redistributes everything. Your eyes, food for bacteria. Your brain, the one that worried so much about net worth. It is turning into liquid. Your muscles, the ones you were too lazy to use, they are dissolving. Everything you hoarded, every single atom, is being taken back by the earth. You were just borrowing it, and now the loan is due. Think about the energy you wasted protecting things that were never yours. Think about the stress, the sleepless nights, the arguments. For what? To end up as compost? This is the cosmic joke. You spent your life acting like a king, but you die like a meal for insects. If you can see this, if you can really feel the cold dirt on your face, then maybe, just maybe, you can snap out of the trance. You are not the owner. You are the tourist. You are here for a blink of an eye. Stop trying to buy the hotel. Just enjoy the view. And when it's time to check out, leave the keys on the desk and walk out the door. Light, empty, free. Block 16. The rebirth. Bridging to the end. So, now you are naked. I've taken your money. I have taken your virtue. I have taken your future. I have put you in the grave. Does it hurt? Good. Pain is the shell breaking. You have been a seed trapped in a hard shell of greed for too long. You thought the shell was protecting you, but it was keeping you from growing. It was keeping you in the dark. Now the shell is cracked. You feel vulnerable? You feel scared? That is the feeling of being born. Don't patch the shell. Let it shatter. Step out of the debris of your life. Look at your hands. They are empty. Perfect. Now you can pick up a weapon. Now you can pick up a tool. Now you can touch another human being without trying to own them. The hoarder is dead. The hunter is breathing. Take a deep breath. Smell the air. It smells like danger. It smells like freedom. Welcome to the real world. So you woke up. You feel dangerous. You feel free. Enjoy it for 5 minutes. Because now the real war starts. You think the system is just going to let you go? You think your friends, your family, your boss are going to applaud your new freedom? Wrong. Society works like an immune system. It identifies anything different as a virus, and it attacks. The moment you stop hoarding, the moment you stop seeking validation, the moment you stop playing their game, you become the virus. Get ready for the pressure. Why are you so quiet? Why don't you want to buy this? You've changed. Are you depressed? They will try to fix you. They will try to pull you back into the waiting room. They will use guilt. They will use shame. They will use temptation. Come on, just one drink, just one purchase. Don't be so serious. This is the drift. It is the gravity of the herd. It pulls you down, and if you're not braced for it, you will slide right back into the mud. Most of you will fail here. You will get lonely. You will miss the comfort of the cage, and you will crawl back, begging for the leash. Don't argue with them. Don't try to wake them up. You cannot explain color to a blind man. You will only annoy him. Silence is your shield. Block 18, the gray man, camouflage. So how do you survive in a world of zombies without getting bitten? You become the gray man. You don't run around screaming, I am alpha, or I am primal. That is weak. that is loud. Real power is silent. You wear the suit, you go to the meeting, you nod your head, but behind your eyes, you are hunting. You are operating in the matrix, but you are not of the matrix. You use their money to buy your freedom. You use their technology to sharpen your mind. You act normal, but your internal operating system is completely rewritten. This is the ultimate camouflage, to look like a sheep but think like a wolf. When you master this, you can move through society untouched. You can extract resources without getting infected by the madness. You are a spy in the house of greed. You watch them panic. You watch them hoard. You watch them cry over nonsense. And you smile internally because you know the game is rigged and you stop playing. Block 19. The boredom filter, the silent killer. And then you will face the final enemy. Not fear, not pain, boredom. When you stop chasing dopamine, when you stop buying toys, when you stop creating drama, life gets quiet, very quiet. And for a dopamine addict, quiet feels like death. You will wake up and think, is this it? Just being alive? Your brain will scream for a hit. It will beg for chaos. It will try to sabotage you just to feel something intense. This is the great filter. This is where the boys are separated from the men. Can you handle the peace? Can you find glory in the simple act of breathing? Can you find excitement in the discipline of a push-up or the silence of a walk?